Whiskers was not your ordinary cat. He was extraordinarily curious and mischievous. With silky gray fur and piercing green eyes, Whiskers often wore a small red bandana around his neck, giving him a roguish look that matched his personality. One sunny morning, Whiskers woke up with an itch for adventure. Having grown bored of his usual forays into the backyard, he decided today was the day he'd explore the world beyond the fence. He sneaked past Mrs. Huggins, the elderly lady who took care of him, and scampered under the wooden fence. Clad in a miniature leather jacket, he felt ready to take on anything. His first stop was the neighboring house, which belonged to the Parkers. The Parkers had a dog named Bruno, a bulldog notorious for guarding the yard. Seeing Bruno snoozing in the sun, Whiskers thought it safe to venture into the territory. He climbed up a tree and leaped onto the garage roof, looking for an entry point. Just then, Bruno awoke and noticed the interloper. Bruno barked loudly, and Whiskers, ever the quick thinker, slid down the other side of the roof, landing in a bush. He waited for the commotion to die down before making his next move. His heart raced, but he couldn't help but feel exhilarated. Whiskers eventually found his way to the local market. This was uncharted territory full of new smells and sounds. He paraded through the stalls, now wearing a tiny aviator cap he had found along the way. Vendors and shoppers couldn't help but chuckle at the sight of the small, dressed-up cat. Whiskers nimbly dodged attempts to catch him, snatching little morsels of food while zigzagging through the crowd. His escapades caught the attention of a young girl named Emma, who was at the market with her father. Captivated by Whiskers' charm and audacity, she decided to follow him. Whiskers found himself near a fountain at the center of the market. Emma approached cautiously, holding out a piece of fish. Whiskers sniffed the air, cautiously stepping closer. To his surprise, Emma didn't try to grab him. Instead, she simply sat and watched him with a smile. They stayed there for what felt like hours, bonding over the spontaneous adventure. As evening fell, Whiskers knew it was time to go home. He meowed softly, as if saying goodbye, and started his trek back. Emma waved, promising she'd look out for him at the market again. Whiskers returned home, sneaking back under the fence just in time for dinner. Mrs. Huggins never knew the difference, but Whiskers felt a little wiser, a little bolder from his day's adventure. Life returned to normal, but Whiskers always kept an eye on the fence, dreaming of his next big escapade.